You said Biden. I remember one time I was looking at this house in Harbor Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and the house was on the market for $99 million or $98 million. And I go inside the house. I think the house just sold for like $67 million. It just closed for $67 million. And it was in Harbor Beach, beautiful home. The guy bought 5 lots, turned it into his house. And yeah, that's the one, $70 million. That's the one that sold for, I think that's the one that's exactly the one. So $67 million is what it, yeah, $70 million that it sold.
Okay.
And it was, they're showing me all the rooms, beautiful place, out of control, just gorgeous. And I go into the master bedroom, I'm like, oh, it's nice, it's an American flag. Big American flag. Well, it was the American flag from inauguration when Joe Biden won.
Oh.
And it was D1 that was given to him. And it was a guy, I believe, Sussman. Am I saying it correctly?
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he was a big donor to Biden as well.
Got a place in Portugal.
He does have a place in Portugal. What made Biden so appealing for you to get behind him?
For me?
Yeah.
Because, look, Joe Biden was a guy who went home every night on a train to his family. Everybody else is leading a double life in D.C. I liked his character. I liked the way that he loved his family. Joe Biden, to me, was kind of a Clinton. Listen, Joe Biden was friends. I mean, he got in trouble for talking about, being friends with some Republicans. I mean, just for that. He was kind of in the middle. What made him appealing to me was I thought he had a compassionate heart. He was a centrist, but his character. When we first talked about running for president, I was talking to him, and I said, where are you? So I'm looking at the Potomac, and we started talking about Bo, and he started crying. It was, real crying. And I felt that pain, and I heard his pain. And I thought to myself, this is a guy that could feel America's pain. That's who I want. I want somebody who's going to feel our pain, not the richest people's pain. Because when you grow up, like I did, you were never, you were the guy that was desperate. And I want somebody that's going to be for me. I want to do the most for the most with the least, but within the confines of a capitalistic government.
How do you think he did as a president? Because a lot of times, they'll say Jimmy Carter was a good man, but a horrible president, right? You'll hear that sometimes being dropped as he was not one of the better presidents we had the last 60 years, 70 years.
Well, what he did was, what happened is this: his staff took over.
Biden's staff. Yeah.
The donors. Look, they asked me recently, how do you think he's going to do on his presidential library? You know, my answer was, he'll be lucky to build a fucking bookmobile. I mean, there ain't going to be no library of any consequence. Why? Because I was getting ready to say something I'm not going to say, but his staff would not call big people back. Chris Dodd was Biden's best friend. He couldn't get him on the phone.
Who protected that, though? Was it his chief of staff? Like, was he?
Well, it was Anita Dunn. It was not. Yeah, it was his chief of staff. It was Ron Klain who insisted on Kamala. It was Steve Ricchetti. It was Anita Dunn, who was moving in and out of politics and going to SD Knickerbocker. And the reason he's not going to be able to is the reason it's a tragedy is, and then he had that blind spot for Hunter. He had that blind spot for Hunter, which, because look, me and him are Irish. We have this thing about our children, but look, Hunter is just a despicable character.
His son,
Hunter Biden.
Yeah,
I think so. But his deep love for Hunter Biden. I shouldn't say despicable. He's an addict. He's the Skid Row addict. I mean, if his dad wasn't president, he'd be a Bowery guy. Things that they were doing that were pissing me off when he started selling paintings for $500,000. I mean, that guy couldn't draw a damn stick man. And people are paying $500,000 for his paintings. It went off the rails. My hope was that he was going to bring the country back to center at the end of the 2 years, say, go get it. And so I'm disappointed in that. And I think his presidency, one thing that's going to be overlooked in his presidency is the infrastructure bill, which everybody's got a lot of opinions on the infrastructure bill, but America's infrastructure is breaking down. And I thought that was a positive thing, and I thought that would be his signature piece, that we'd start getting Wi-Fi in the rural areas, we start putting bridges back, and I believe that Trump's going to benefit from the lift from the infrastructure, because there's a lot, that money is still going into there. Now, what else did he do? Very little. But his staff took charge, and they protected him. And look,
do you believe he signed all those? Do you think he approved all those pardons, or you think his staff signed all the?
I think he approved them. I think he approved them.
You think he approved all of them?
Listen, I know listen, I have a cousin, okay, Jerry Lundergan, who went to prison, and his daughter ran against Mitch McConnell, and Clinton went down and met with Biden to try to get a pardon for Jerry, and Jerry's a big donor. They didn't give Jerry a pardon. Biden was involved in the pardons. Now, all this auto pen, I sign auto pen every day with DocuSign. I mean, what the fuck are we talking? I mean, I don't know.
No, I do as well. As an insurance guy, we've written 1 million insurance policies. So, for us, there's going to be so many things. It's like boom, boom, boom. But, and I'm not talking to policies. I'm talking about, hey, cutting the check for this, cutting approval for this. I approve.
Do I think? Do I think the real question is, did a staff member pardon and just slide it in front of him?
No. What I'm saying to you is the following. Obviously, he was not fully there. I mean, I watched the first debate, Jake Tapper. Within the first 30 seconds, I'm like, Jake knows what's going on, and Jake Tapper knows that they're
Are
about to...
Are you talking about the one where...
You'll see where I'm going with this. I knew he was not in good shape when I saw it. And the world did as well. It's not like I'm doing anything special. Everybody saw it. But to me, for me to believe that all of those pardons he did, I have a hard time believing that. And neither do a lot of Americans, by the way.
And listen, with that staff, I will say that. And I will say the same thing about what you said. Look, I went to the White House. I saw him. I saw the State of the Union. I was like, okay, this guy's okay. Maybe he's okay. That night, I went to the beach. I made myself a big Maker's Mark, crushed ice, Scotsman ice.
Good for you.
Little splash of Coke, emphasis on splash. I got me a big Orville Redenbacher drizzle with butter. I'm like, I'm sitting down for this. And within whatever, he was looking off camera. He looked like a corpse. I texted Pelosi that right there, 10 minutes in, and I texted Nancy Pelosi and I said, the election is over. The election is over. And it was. And I asked later, I asked some people, I said, did he ever go there for a dry run? Did he ever go and check the lights? Who did his makeup? I mean, if you remember, he was looking over. He wasn't looking. And you know what the answer was? The first time he stood at that podium was when they wheeled his ass out on stage. And then when the wife came up and said, you did it, Joe. We're all like, yeah, you fucking shit the bed, Joe. That's what you did. And, I'm close with his brother Frank. His brother Frank, I helped Frank get his prostate taken out up in Orlando last year. But his legacy was ruined by his staff. And look, who knows you the best? I own nursing homes in Florida. I got memory centers. When you try to get the keys away from somebody, it's hard to get the keys away because are they or aren't they? Are they there or not they there? What George Clooney saw, another Kentucky guy, I'm better looking than him, we're both from Kentucky. But George Clooney saw it. Now, we had never seen it because he was being guarded. And I think what happened is the sycophants around him didn't want to give up the power and the money. And that's why that's why Kamala got shellacked.
Yeah. The FLB shoes. By the way, I am officially on, let me see this. I'm on day 57 out of 58 that I've worn these shoes. Love wearing these shoes every single day. I think Vinny's got it on. The other night we went to dinner. Vinny was wearing this black pants, white shirt with the FLB shoes. We walk into the restaurant, 7 girls lined up waiting to meet with Vinny.
One girl was crying. She was crying. She was shaking.
She was crying.
Like,
she was shaking.
The shoes. I was like, I can't.
Are you Ringo Starr?
So for those of you guys that are asking about getting the shoes before Christmas for your husband or your sons or your friend, this is what you want to be thinking about. Size black and brown. Size black and brown. Let me see this thing here from Black and Brown. So let's go to partners or what's available. So size black and brown, if you want to get them, size 9, 10, and 11 are available to get before Christmas. White, all sizes are available except for 7, 7.5, and 8.5. Navy, 8, 9, 9.5, 10, and 11 are available before Christmas. Of course, after Christmas, shipment is coming. That'll be here New Year's. These things, we can't even keep these on the shelves, to be honest with you, with the shoes. Once you put them on, just go read the reviews with people writing reviews when they bought them. Once you put them on, you'll realize why this has become as hot of an item for us as we expected. It took us 2 years to do this, Rob. If you want to play the clip on that, we'll get into the stories. Here's the FLB shoes. Go for it. When we set out to create a shoe that blends comfort, function, and luxury, we had the choice to make it fast. We had the choice to make it cheap. We chose neither. Instead, we chose Tuscany, Italy. We chose true Italian craftsmanship, each pair touched by 50 skilled hands. We chose patience, spending 2 years perfecting every detail, and we chose the finest quality at every step. Introducing the Future Looks Bright collection. Not rushed, not disposable, not ordinary. Rather, intentional, luxurious, timeless. I love it. Designed in Florida, 100% made in Italy. Folks, if you haven't yet ordered one, we had 2 guys yesterday that ordered 4 of all colors. And one of them was from UK. The other one was from Belgium or something like that, ordering these shoes. If you want to find out how it matches against everybody else, go to vtmerch.com. On the homepage, you'll see the shoes. Click on the link to go learn more about the shoes and place an order for your husband, for your spouse, for your son, for somebody maybe that works for your company as a recognition. And go to vtmerch.com to place your order. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.